Wonderful. So let us get started. It's Monday, July 27th, 3:45 here in Healdsburg, California. And I am broadcasting from Enso Village. I have people in the room here with me, and then we have some people on Zoom, and probably more people will be joining us. And so if you ever, I just like repeating a couple of reminders, just so you know that I'm trying to be better about recording and putting up on YouTube. I don't always remember, but you can just find me on YouTube if you go to YouTube and type in my name. If you like a certain class or want to do a warm-up or anything like that, you can usually find me there. And then if you ever need to leave early, come a little late, it's totally fine, doesn't interrupt me at all. So just, I would prefer that you come to class. If it's like, oh, I can only come for the first 20 minutes, that's totally fine. 20 minutes of Qigong can be magical medicine. So a few announcements that are pertinent, very timely announcements. One of them is, repeat after me, there is no class next Monday, August the 3rd. Some of us are going into the big city of San Francisco to go to the Museum of Modern Art, so that should be quite a treat to see the Matisse exhibit, so I'm really excited about that. So no class next Monday. I'll send out another reminder. Somebody always shows up, but thankfully you're either on Zoom or you're already very close to home, so not a big deal. Another announcement for anyone local to Healdsburg, I've started teaching outdoors on a couple Saturdays a month. It's a sporadic schedule. It's over at Barbieri Park, which is like a 5-minute walk from here, 10 a.m. And it's mostly locals. A few Enso people have dropped in, and that's sweet, but it's mostly local people. And it's just so nice to be outside and just hear the birds and feel the wind and all that good stuff. So you're always welcome to come to that if you would like. I'm asking, it is a paid class, but if that's ever an issue, just let me know. And then the last announcement is, this is going to be a very different class because most of the time, I was talking to Irini about it last time, that most of the time when I teach, it's really like I'm very much in the moment. Like I don't have, when I first started teaching, I would write out, oh, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and next we're going to do this. And now I've been teaching regularly, like a couple times a week for 5 or 6 years, and just feeling much more plugged into my intuition. And it's like, oh, what are we going to do next? Okay. And just kind of make it up as I go along based on kind of how I'm seeing people moving in that. Today is going to go back to a scripted class, and so you may see me looking at my computer, that I got this specific sequence from my teacher, Lee Holden, and it's kind of methodical and goes through and opens up different parts of the body. So I actually wrote it down, and should be quite special. And then inviting, we're opening up space in our body and like really stretching our lungs, being able to breathe deeper, and then letting that magical energy of the full moon come down. And the moon is really interesting, and so most of you are probably familiar with yin and yang. So it's, you can never classify anything as, oh, that's yin, because yin and yang are always in relationship to each other. But the yin principle is stillness, receptivity, intuition. And so classically, the moon is considered yin and the sun is considered yang. But if you think about the full moon, it's really got some energy, it's really got some brightness. And so it's yin in nature, but it's beaming off the yang of the sun. So it's very balanced, strong energy. And it's just finding the harmony between that brightness, the activity, and then the rest, the inner. And so very often in classes, I try to mirror that, where we do some movement and stretching, and then we settle and we tune in. And so always that balance. And so I see that we have at least one or two new people, so welcome. Always glad to have newcomers with us. These movements are just very easy to learn. You can mirror my movements. The only way to do Qigong wrong is if some movement hurts. If that's the case, modify it. I really depend on everybody to really take care of themselves and honor their own body and make modifications as needed. And then we're gonna start out seated. And when I walked in the room, it was very cold in here. I turned the heat up so it feels a little better now. But just pay attention to your body temperature. Generally, standing and moving is going to create a little more heat. So if you're cold, you might want to stand up and move. If you find yourself getting hot or that, more Zoomers coming, then you might want to sit. It's always very personal decision. Everything can be modified. Okay, that's my intro. So I'm super, super happy to have such a full house here and there. We've got a lot of people here today, which is great. So let's proceed. So we're gonna do just like a little bit of turning in, checking how we're feeling. I'm gonna start with, while you're tuning in and settling, I'm gonna start with a poem. A friend of mine, Alexandra Kennedy, one of my bestie neighbors, friends, colleagues in Santa Cruz, just self-published this beautiful book of poetry. It's called Offerings from the Silence. And so I'm gonna start out with a poem, and then we'll move into some movement. So settling into a comfortable position, taking a long, slow, deep breath, maybe moving your body if you like, just to get ready. And softening your eyes, closing your eyes, softening your jaw, and just tuning your attention inward and just seeing how you're feeling in this moment, letting go of the day behind you, letting go of the afternoon and evening in front of you, just arriving fully into this moment. And this poem appropriately is called Pause. Pause, not later, not when the day loosens its grip, now, in the middle of the sentence, the errand, the unwashed cup, a small stopping, so brief it almost disappears. No fixing, no turning away, just this, breath arriving, breath leaving, and something deeper that never hurried. The world continues exactly as it is. Emails wait, light shifts, time keeps its agreements. Yet here, beneath the noise of motion, a stillness that did not begin and will not end. Enter it for a minute, for a breath. It is enough. And just let those words settle in, giving gratitude to yourself for taking this pause in your day. And wiggling your toes, butterflying your knees, letting your spine move a bit and getting ready for some movement. So I've got my Zoomers set. And let's begin, as we often do, with some breathing, some intentional breathing. So we're going to just drop your chin and exhale, pull your belly button back to your spine. And now pull the chin up, slightly arch your back, and inhale, filling your lungs. And just back and forth like that. Exhale, rounding the shoulders. And inhale, belly, ribs, chest. A few more times. And one more time. And now that same movement, but we're going to add our arms in. So hands are going to start down, face up on our lap, and we're going to inhale up and look up and stretch, and exhale down, and just let the spine curve, chin to the chest, exhaling fully. And again, stretch, reach for the sky, and exhale down. And one more time. And I'm already starting to feel warm, just moving a little bit. And so the beautiful thing about Qigong is it really can be personalized for what is your own personal medicine that you need for balance. So during that mini check-in, if you were like, oh, I'm just tired, maybe you need a little zing, a little energy. So maybe you stand up a little bit, but maybe if you're a little anxious and jangly, maybe you need a little calming. So you can do these movements in any way that works. So we're going to start by opening up our hands and wrists. So interlock your fingers together and start just manipulating your wrists. And try to, if I was doing it one-handed, I'd be making a wrist circle. So it's really this that we're opening. And then just for fun, pause, look at your hand and look where your pinky is, which hand is that, and then move that pinky so it's on the inside. It's kind of moving which hand is dominant. It should feel strange. I see people going like, that feels weird. And we usually have a dominant side and we pick that. And so we're just slowly opening the hands and the wrists and just going for that full range of motion. Okay, so we're going to continue now, but it's going to be more stretching. So keep your fingers interlocked and palms are facing down, and you're going to mirror me. And so you're going to flex your right wrist. So keep your fingers interlaced. I'm getting a stretch here and stretching my palms. And then back to the center and the other side and flex. I'm also getting a stretch here and just back and forth on that. And just be gentle. It's softening. We're not forcing anything. One more to each side. Holding the stretch for a moment, and then we turn this into what I call the disco flow. And so staying here, so your left hand, your left fingers are pointing down. You're going to come down to the middle, and now we're going to flex the other one, and then we come up to the top. So it's exactly, oh, everybody's got the wave. It's very cool to look up here and see everybody doing it. Woo! Great. A few more times. And this is really bringing blood to your fingers and your wrists. And now pause here. And we're going to go the other way. Jaw relax. Make sure your spine's comfortable. A few more times. And if anybody ever wants to stand up, I just keep moving. You'll get a lot more motion if you're standing up. So it's just up to you. I'm gonna sit again because I got hot, but if you wanna stand, stand. And if you're here in the room and anybody stands up in front of you, just move your chair so you can see. Shake your wrists out. Shake your wrists out, shake your wrists out, and then just let your arms just move, kind of, we call this octopus arms, whatever feels good. Okay, so we're gonna continue opening these channels. Go ahead and rub your hands together. We're gonna do it with some breathing, and so we're gonna stretch our lungs in various directions. So again, knit your hands together. I'm gonna intentionally, it doesn't really matter which way you go, but I'm just gonna challenge myself and go the way that feels weird. And then we're going to inhale together. And really, as I do that, I'm opening my chest, getting a stretch here. And then I'm gonna turn and push away and sink the chest. Inhale through the nose, arch, looking up, exhaling out. Sinking the chest, stretching that areas in between the shoulder blades. And let's sigh it out. A few more times. And one more time. And taking a rest for a minute, letting your shoulders move. So when we do that stretch, we're stretching out. Here comes another zoomer. We're stretching out that area in between our shoulder blades. That's also the back of our heart. It's an area that can just be locked. It's very hard to reach ourselves. And so that's a way to really mobilize and stretch that area. Okay, so we're going to continue with the interlocked fingers. We're going to inhale up and look up and arching the back. And now we're going to exhale and squeeze the air out. And inhale up and stretch. And squeeze the air out. And keep going with that. If you want to stand, you're welcome to. I'm going to show what the standing looks like. So we inhale up and we straighten our legs. And then when we exhale down, we bend our knees and push the air out. So inhale, straighten arms, straighten legs. Exhale. Palms are together and elbows are together. And one more time. And shake, shake, shoulder rolls. All this new space in the lungs and in the muscles and that. So we're going to do a certain breathing 3 times. Arms are going to come up. We're going to inhale full, and then I'm going to challenge you to see if you can sip any more air into your lungs. A lot of times when we do what we think is a full inhale, you can still get more in. It's kind of like pumping up a tire or something. So hands are going to start here. So full inhale, as much air as you can get, and now more if you can. And express it out, like make that noise. Let's do that 2 more times. And now sip More. More. Ah. And one more time. See if you can get more stretching. And out. Clearing, and again, just moving. So when we bring our arms up like that, we're really stretching our lungs. Our lungs attach here at the collarbone and then go all the way down to our ribs in the front and all the way down to the ribs in the back. So now we're going to do that same. If your shoulders are getting tired, just bring your hands up to here. But if not, we're going to bring them up and then we're going to do some twisting, and just invite you to notice where you feel it. So let's just practice twisting, whether you're seated or standing. It's when I say twist from the hips and the waist, it means really starting there. So I always pretend I have a flashlight sticking out of my belly button, and then I'm going to turn from the hips and the waist, and then it's lighting up that corner and lighting up that corner. So it's very different than just turning my shoulders. It's really, and if you're standing, you'll feel it in your knees as well. Your whole, all that fascia is being twisted. So hands are interwoven. We're gonna inhale up and exhale, twist from the hips and the waist. Inhale back to the center and down. And I tell you what, we're actually going to do it, instead of going up the midline, let's go up like that, okay? So inhaling up, now we're going to twist to your left, back to the center and down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Back to the center and down. I want to isolate. I was noticing in myself, I was mostly getting the twist here, which is useful, but we actually also want to, it's like wringing out, if you imagine wringing out a washcloth, we want to get the whole spine. And so let's isolate our neck for a moment. So sitting or standing, shoulders are squared off. And for this one, shoulders are not going to move for a moment. Turn and look over your shoulder and back to the center. Turn and look over the other shoulder, back to the center. Turn and look, and now let your shoulders and your waist follow, and then back to the center, and then first your neck, and then your shoulders, and then your waist, and back to the center. So let's do that same move, but with our arms up. So arms go up. Now turn your head and then your shoulders and then your waist. And then back to the center and down. Inhale, neck, shoulders, belly and waist. Back to the center and down. And one more to each side. Great. So again, jaw relaxed. Let's do a little bit for the top of the shoulders. I'm going to have my feet are telling me, have a seat for this one. You're welcome to stay standing if you would like. And here comes somebody into the Zoom room. Great. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit for the top of the shoulders and a little bit for the neck. So we're just gonna have our hands like a scarecrow here, and then draw your shoulders up to your ears, and then relax. And inhale. Sigh it out a few more times. And one more time. And just again, some wrist circles as we're stretching and rearranging. So we're going to do a little bit more for the neck. So hands are going to start here by your side, and then you're going to push away and down, and then ear to the shoulder, and roll your head gently back and forth, just staying on that one side. Actively bringing the shoulders away from your ears. And chin to the chest, and other side. And chin to the chest and down. Some shoulder rolls. We come forward. I invite you to have very bad posture for a moment, and then ears up, and then elbows back and down. So it's really exaggerating those 4 points. So forward, tuck the chin, up, 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 squeeze, exhale back and down. One more time. And then we turn it into more of a flow where it's more circular than those 4 points. And one more time. Great. We have this line of tension from the trapezius muscle, attaches at the skull here, and then goes out and connects here. It's tight on everybody. And so that can really invite in some flow. So we're going to do one. We haven't done this in class before. It's kind of fun. It's called marching. And what we're doing, we're inviting in the energy of the full moon, but we also really want to be grounded when we do that. So we're activating our earth, which are the spleen and stomach channels. So you can do this seated or standing. I'm just alternating a lot tonight for myself. I'm going to stand now, but just see what you want to do. Is your body getting tired? Do you want to stay seated? You prefer to like wake up or work on your balance? You can stand up. And so this is good for our balance, and then it's activating the knees. So the earth meridians in the body are the stomach channel, which starts in the head and then goes down the torso through our earth and then down kind of the front of the leg. And then the spleen channel starts on the feet and comes up and anchors here. And so there's points right around the knees. And so what we're gonna do is, let me see which way, yeah. So have your hands off to the side here, and then we're going to put our weight on this same side, and then we're going to march and tap the knee. And now hands are here, and we tap, and we just go back and forth. And I see those of you that are seated are marching in place and figuring it out. I see people smiling. This is a fun one. activating, and if you fall, if you lose your balance, that's totally fine. Good practice. We're activating our earth, bringing energy to our knees, and you can tap softly or you can really activate it. A few more times. One more to each side. And woo! Feel your knees, legs are ready to go. And I learned, it's so often, I'm going off script here, but I saw Carol bouncing. Carol and Rona were both like this, and I was like, let's bounce. And so we're gonna take that energy. If you're seated, you can totally just shake your arms, bounce in your chair, shake your hands, feel your feet. So inhale. Shake it off a few more times. And one more time. And settle in. And just notice how you're feeling. We've done all this breathing, all this space, stretching, bringing the energy in. I'm getting warm, so I'm going to take this off. And let's see what's next. Okay, we're gonna do some spinal twists, just a little more. So you can, if you're standing, you're gonna have your knees bent and your hands on your knees. And if you're seated, same, you're just gonna have your hands on your knees. And then we're gonna bring your left shoulder forward and your right shoulder back and look over your shoulder. And then back to the center, and then opposite. Right shoulder forward, left back, look over your shoulder. We inhale to the center, exhale. Inhale to the center, exhale. One more to each side. And back to the center. So we're not going to stop for a meditation, but just invite you just really to, just for 5 seconds, just bring your attention inward, body, mind, spirit. How has this time of moving and breathing and feeling grounded and reaching towards the sky, how's your body, how's your emotions? How are you feeling compared to how you were when you came? All right, so we're going to do one that starts to invite in this moon energy. And so talked about this sometimes during class. Of classically, the earth is yin, condensing, gravitational pull, and then the sky, the cosmos, is yang. But now we have the full moon in there, and then it's nighttime, which is yin. And so we're just going to, this is called heart to the sky. And so we open up, imagine you're outside at night, glorious Milky Way above, the full moon beaming on the horizon. We just invite that into all the space that we just created. And then we bring our hands together and we let that energy pour through us and then ground us. And so as the classic saying goes, as humans, we stand between heaven and earth. And so we are, if your channels are open, then the earth energy is flowing up and out, the heavenly energy is flowing down and in. So I'm gonna stand for this one, but you easily can do this seated as well. So personal choice, ask your body what it wants. And then if you are standing or sitting, you want a fairly wide stance. And if you're standing, go ahead and straighten your legs as much as you can for a moment, and then release. And just, we have a nice bounce to our knees. So hands start here by the chest, and we inhale and open our heart to the sky. And we exhale, bending heart to the earth. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. And as you inhale, you can stretch your arms out wide, open the chest. Exhale, let everything soften. Very soft and receptive. And one more time. And coming back to center. And just, whether you're seated or standing, really take a moment to line your skeleton up. If you're standing, sink into your heels. And then if you're seated, really feel your equal weight on the chair. And then soften your belly. And soften your jaw. Hands can be here in prayer position. And then chin is like, if you can, lengthen your neck and let the top of your head go up and kind of tuck your chin back. And just for a moment, let that earth energy go up through your legs and torso and out the crown of your head. And let that sparkly universal energy come down from the universe, washing your brain, washing your organs, going down through your legs, anchoring you to the earth. One more full inhale and exhale. So we're going to do one now called Moon Rising over the Lake. And we've done, it's interesting, some of these movements will be familiar, but it's more the intention of what we're visualizing or what energy we're creating. And so let your hands slowly go back and forth and imagine a beautiful, calm lake at night reflecting the full moon. And when we're all over on this side of the room, hands float up with your mind touching the sky, the moon moving across the sky, the bright moonlight coming down, lighting up that which needs to be seen. And that's our flow. Inhale, slight pause, exhaling down. And back to the lake, slow movements. When we slow our movements and our breathing, very often our body will slow down. So let's all Pause over on the right side, and then the reverse motion up to the starry sky, letting that bright full moon reflect on the lake. Jaw relaxed, eyes relaxed. And one more. And come in here and letting your hands face each other and just kind of pulsing the energy back and forth. And then just for a moment, floating your hands up, fingertips pointing towards your forehead, what many traditions would call the third eye. In Taoism, this is the entrance to what we call the crystal room. And just soften your eyes or close your eyes. And slow, intentional breathing. Washing the mind. Letting the bright moon energy clear the mind. And floating your hands down and just moving any way you want. We're going to do another fun one. It's called Holding the Moon. And so we're going to, I'm going to show it to you before we kind of workshop it and break it down. So your hands are facing each other and you're holding a little moon and you make a big circle, and now it starts to become a bigger moon, and then we lift this heel and leg and come down. And then come back to the center and down. And so if you're seated exactly, that you would do the same thing. You all can't see my feet at home. But the leg ends up like that. So weight's on this side, and then the heel is down. And then we come back to the center. So let's start hands facing each other, holding the little moon, pulsing your hands back and forth, and then start making that circle. So hands go off to the left, up through our crystal room, and now we turn, do our heel, and holding the big moon. And then back to the center, floating the arms down. So we'll go to the opposite side now. Hands go off to the right. Left foot starts to turn. And holding. Inhale to center. And as our hands come down, letting that moon energy wash through our body. And so it's inhaling up, exhaling as we twist and turn, opening up the sides, inhaling back up, exhaling down, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. One more to each side. last one. And I'm going to have a seat again. Why don't we all take a seat? And just quietly sit for a minute and feel body, mind, and spirit. And getting ready to move into the end of class. In some traditions, the full moon is a time of completion. So if you have anything that you've been working on or anything that time for a cycle to complete, the full moon can amplify that. And so I'm going to try this one seated. It's kind of I'm going to show you standing, but I want to see how it is to do seated. It would be anchoring feet. My feet are both facing that way, starting at the heart with our desire, and then one hand forward, one hand back, and looking out at the outstretched arm, and then coming back to the center. I just want to try, see what this feels like seated. I think you'd have to be kind of scooted forward on your chair, and then we'll start towards the center, and then exhaling and looking out towards the side, and then back to the center, exhaling. And so the arm behind you that you can't see is your past, and the arm in front of you is your trajectory into the future. And so letting your gaze go out past your fingers into the future, picking your trajectory. Back to the center. Let's turn towards the center, and seated or standing, doing a forward bend. So legs come out and just pushing down on the legs and just letting the head hang forward. If you're standing up, you can stretch your hamstrings. If you're seated, just stretching your spine, letting your head kind of moving your spine back and forth again, making space, and then sitting up. And then we'll do the other side. So forward on the chair, turning from the hips and the waist, setting our gaze the other way, hands starting here, and then we exhale out, past, present, future, inhaling to the center, exhaling out, letting your mind travel into the future, some positive outcome, back to the future, back to the center. Back to our heart space, and one more time. And back to our heart space, and down. Sitting back in our chairs. Letting your eyes go down to the floor. Turning your attention inward. And sitting quietly. And I'm going to close with another poem and then maybe a few minutes of silence. Title of this poem is What If? What if your body were just a suit of clothes for a mystery, vast, open, empty, an unknowable presence that will be when the glittering stars are extinguished, a mystery quivering with the thrill of finding form and earthy flesh. It waits to be discovered, not just here, hidden in the body, but everywhere. What if this mystery were looking through your eyes, not through the veil of thought, but seeing things just as they are, the silent presence of this frail flower, the sacredness of this smooth stone, exquisite beauty of mystery inhabiting form. Each flower, each stone, each person, your lost and found beloved. What if this mystery were listening through your ears, listening to sounds just as they are? They rise out of silence and return to it. Sweet song of the meadowlark, the hum of an airplane overhead, the clock ticking, the whole body alert and present, cells responding with a shiver of delight. What if this mystery were expressing its love for itself through your eyes, your ears, your touch? What if the clear space of infinite possibility knows itself through you? Would you look at everything as if it held a secret? So just settling into the silence now, I will mind the time. We'll just sit in silence for 2 minutes. Keeping your attention inside, again, tuning into your skeleton aligned between heaven and earth, feeling the earth supporting you, feel the mystery of the vast sky above us, and just tuning into the group energy field. We have a big gathering today, 30 of us present in person, online, and just tuning into that group energy, letting all positive energy flow out, surrounding our earth and everyone on it. And bringing your attention back to your breathing, keeping your attention inside, getting ready to enter the rest of your day, letting your eyes crack open, doing some gentle movements. And if you would like to end class with me by dedicating the merit, the words I use are, may the merit of our practice benefit all beings and bring peace. May the merit of our practice benefit all beings and bring peace. Thank you, everybody. Beautiful, beautiful to see everybody moving and flowing. Thanks, Mudge. Good to be with you.